Good day, Miss Annalyn Yumang. My name is Edmond Hans Tapado and my groupmates are Marlo Ferrer, Angelo Raimundo, and Carlo Galicia. Our machine learning project is entitled Banking System by Orange Lemon. This banking system can be compared to any real-world ATM programs, such as the one we use from BPI, BDO, and many more. This banking system is composed of savings account and business account, and the user will be able to check their total deposit and withdraw balance. The only limit of this project is that there is no sign-up page, and we provide only one account, which is the admin account for the user to use in this GUI. Also, once the user exited the program, all data that was stored from the savings account and business account will be erased.
Let's talk about the login code. When you open this app, you will see this, which is the login button. This code allows the user to input their email. And this one allows the user to input their password. When they click the button one, which is the login, the system going to check the email and password of the user. If it is correct, the frame 1 is going to hide, and it will show the frame 2, which is this is the check account. Then when they click log out, it's going back to this code, which is the login button.
So, good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon, ma'am. We are the Orange Shaman, and I am going to present the buttons part and the demonstration for our project. So, first, to see the buttons, for a good example is the frame one of our project, which is the design as this, and it only has one button, so it only has login, and then this is the code for it. So we didn't really create any account system yet. It's going to be an admin account only, and it has these credentials as explained by Mon earlier. It only has admin as the username and admin123 as the password. So how this button works is that it hides the button if the credentials are correct, and it also shows the next frame. So the next frame is this. It only has the check account and the logout buttons. So how does it work? After it hides the first window, and it shows the second window. So for this, to hide the first window, you use the function this and then hide. And then for showing the next frame after hiding the first frame, you need to use this. So how would you create this operator or variable? The FRM2 or the form2 to show. You use this operator, frame 2, and then the symbol, and then FRM2 is equals to GC new frame 2 this. So what it does is the GC new is the operator, or is an operator just like the new operator, except you don't need to delete anything created with it. So it's just collecting garbage, or it's garbage collected rather. Use GC new for creating .NET managed types, and new for creating unmanaged types. So basically, the FRM2 is an operator that is referencing to the frame 2, so it shows the next frame as it if the condition is going to be correct, and if it's not, then no, it's not gonna hide and show. So for the demonstration, let's do it right away. Wait a minute. It's pretty slow because I am also recording. So you input admin and then put admin 123, and it's going to be logging in. And then you only have 2 buttons, so you can log out and then you can log in again just to check if it's working, and then check account. That's it. Then there's 3 buttons: savings account, business account, and exit. So you can exit again, then you can check again. Savings account, this is the where you have the bank account for savings, of course. You can enter amount and then you can deposit, and then if you withdraw around like maybe 45,000, your balance would be 5,000 for sure. But the total deposit and total withdrawal wouldn't change because that should be the total, and this should be your money in your savings account. The business account also has the same function. So that's it. You can log out, and then that's it. That's for the demonstration, and that's for my part.
So, hi mom, this is the Orange Lemon reporting. So, in this video, I'm going to explain these codes. So, these codes are responsible for running the logic in the GUI in order for the input of the user to run, and then it gives an output. So, let's run it. So let's explain the convert function. So the convert function is responsible for converting the text box in integer in order for it to be used for mathematical operation. A text box is a window console or used to get display text for the user's interaction. You can also use it only to display text without allowing the user to change it. So let's try the program. Let's try to input a letter and try to deposit it. So depositing letters is invalid in the program. Try it again. This time we're going to input a number. So let's say we input a value of 150,000. and then deposit it. As you can see, output appears in your balance, and then let's try to input a value of 12,000 and let's withdraw. As you can see, there is a value change in your balance because you withdraw 12,000 in it. That's how this codes works. So that's all. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Edmond Hans Tapado, and I will be discussing the business account design and code. The business account, much like the savings account, provides the same functionalities for the user. This is because when comparing to real-world scenarios, every different bank account types provides the same purpose for the person. He or she can deposit or withdraw the amount he or she wants. So going to the design first. This design mainly uses labels, text box, and buttons. For the text box, we can name this text box 1, text box 2, text box 3, and text box 4, and as well as button 1, button 2, and button 3. For text box 2, 3, and 4, their codes is only composed of the read-only functionality. This is because we cannot allow the user to manipulate the variables that will be that that is going to output later on. Next is the primary text box button. This will serve as this will serve as where the user can input his or specified amount. Then these buttons will serve as the additional or the deduction from these inputs from the balance to the balance. The deposit button uses one of these variables that is manually inserted for the proper mathematical operation to proceed. The money variable will now store the text box 1 text input from the user and convert it into a string. This is because inputs from text box are stored as strings, and it will be needed to be converted into an integer. As well as the balance, this is a string that is going to be converted into an integer once this is pressed. Now the total value will now equal to the balance plus the money or the input of the user. Then the variable val will now be converted into a string and will be put into the text box to text here. Next is converting text box 3, the total deposit, into an integer. The total deposit, which is going to be this one, will just be the total deposit, which is 0, plus the money, plus the inserted money. So it will just be adding and adding and adding. Then the total deposit will be converted from integer into a string and will be put inside the text box 3 text. Similarly, the withdraw button uses the same functionalities such as the money variable, variable, and val variable. The money from text box 1 and the balance from the text box 2 will use an if-else statement. If the money from the input of the user is greater than the balance, then the deducted money will not go negative and it will just be 0, and the value will then be projected in from an integer into a string. Else, if everything goes normal, the total value will then be the remaining balance and the money inserted by the user. Then, applying the total withdraw text box, the text box 4, it will be converted into an integer because it is a string again, and if the balance is greater is greater than 0, which means it is not yet negative, and if the money is greater than the balance, temp will store the money minus the balance, and money is equals to money minus temp, and the total withdraw is equals to the additional money. This is because if we do not add this mathematical logic, the computer will continuously deduct the money even though there is no more balance. Else, if there is nothing wrong, it will just add the total money from the withdraw. Then finally it will go out from the if-else statements and convert the text box for text into a string. Lastly, the exit button uses the hide and show functionalities provided by the Visual Studio, and we will be using this line of code to create a new instance that when the user press the exit button, it will hide the current GUI and provide the previous GUI that was discussed earlier, the check balance. For the demonstration, um, the user must input the specific username and password, which is admin and admin123. If we try to input other username and password, it will not log in. This is because it is specified in the code that the username must be admin and the password must be admin123. So, as shown here, the data from the savings account differs from the business account. This is because it is similar to the real-world scenarios where both types of account from the same bank account can serve different purpose for the user. Thank you for watching our demonstration, and have a nice day.